In today's class, I will show you a complete CI/CD for Docker projects. And firstly, I will give you the overview of this documentation. Then I will explain. Then I will show you the hands-on demo. And today's class is completely hands-on because we are showing a Docker projects. So before we start the video, just a quick reminder: you haven't subscribed the channel, subscribe the channel, because after complete the CCD course, I will also create cloud and DevOps related video which will help your professional career. So don't forget to subscribe the channel. So now let's start today's class. So in first line, CI/CD for Docker projects hands-on demo will show in these things, and we need to do some prerequisites to complete that demo or show the demo. So we need to do some steps, like we need to need a GitHub account for hosting our code there. Then we need to Jenkins installation in our local PC, either native way or Docker way. Then we need to install Docker in our local PC to build and run the application. Then we need a simple Python application or any application. We'll deploy that application in Docker by running Jenkins pipeline. So we need a application, and in this demo we are using Python application. So now let's start the steps you need to follow to complete the demo. So first I will create a Docker projects by Python. Those steps are here. I will explain, don't worry. Then we need to create a Docker file. Then we need to test it locally. Then in step 2 we'll push that code to GitHub. Then step 3 we'll create a Jenkins job, and for that purpose we need to do some plugin already installed in our Jenkins. Either like if you don't install that plugin, so you are not able to complete that demo. So we must install these plugins to do the demo. In step 4 we need to create the Jenkins file. This is the main file of that project. So in this file everything will be tell how to create the image, how to build this image. When I'll show the demo, I will explain at that file also. So in this step 5, we'll create a pipeline job. For creating pipeline job, we need to follow those steps. Then that will create clone the repo, build the Docker image, and run the container. In step 6, we'll clean our system. So for cleaning our system, we need to do the above command. So now I will explain everything with hands-on steps which I will follow. So basically this is the structure of the project. So under this project folder you have a app.py. This is a simple Python application. Then there is requirement.txt file where the dependency of this software. So for Python running the application, you need to Flux. So in the requirement file, this Flux is there. So it will install the Flux packages. So then there is Docker file. So this Docker file will create the image. So let me explain the file. So in the app.file, it's a simple Python application that's showing this simple message deployed via CI/CD pipeline with Docker, and it's running on the 5000 port. Then in the requirement file, and the Flux application will be installed. So in the Docker file, we'll take with the base image Python 3.9 slim version. Then it will make the work directory /app. Then it will copy all files from the local PC to the container, and in the local PC we have only one file which is app.py. Then it will run that install, which is available in the requirements.txt file. Then it will run the Python application. Okay, so for normally we will create the image to run the Docker build t, then my app. Then we are using Docker run -p port, then host port, and container port, then the image name. Okay, so these are basically we can run container manually. So now let me create this file in my PC. So let me copy this file. So cat So copy the Docker file. So all file is available now. So let me check the Docker file application, and okay, so now let me run the file now. So normally we are run docker build -t if we want to give any name, so like web 17 bbb, then the Docker file location here, docker build so docker like must be lowercase, so docker image ls, we can see this image is created. So now we can run docker run -d for the task post -p 5000. We also run the container port also 5000, web bb. So docker ps, you can see container is running 5000. Now if we want to see this file, already want running here, so localhost 5000, you can see the page is showing. So basically this is the manual step. We can run the container. So let me stop that container, docker rm -f. Now we do the same thing by Jenkins file. So before Jenkins files, we need to create a repository and up that file. Also we need to create a Jenkins file. So Jenkins file, the code is there. So this is the Jenkins file. It's simple, just docker build the image, docker image, and this is using the basically pipeline syntax, where we use before like docker run container. Both command I will show. Let me show that on first. So let's copy that one. Ctrl+C. So now let me create a repository. So here already create a repository. It's t17b. Let me create a document file. So now clone this code. Git. So now remove that file also and copy the .git file folder here. So move .git, sorry, name is day dot, to move here, and rm -f day. R. So now this file is there. Now I need to add everything. Git commit -a. So before pushing the code, let me like add my repository access key. That way it will not ask me every time. So beer.git.config. So here I need to put my access key, then it will not ask the access key every time. Let me copy that one. So now save this file. GitHub. Now check the repository, refresh it. So you can see all file is now there. Now we can run the pipeline. So let me create the pipeline now. So go to the page, Jenkins dashboard. I create a new item, day 17b pipeline. Create that one. Scroll down to select the Git repo. So it's public, so no need credentials. Our branch is main and file is Jenkins file. Okay, apply, save. So just make sure again no Docker container is running. It's running. No, it's not. That is Jenkins. Okay, so let me clear the screen. It's not built now. So basically it clone the code in Jenkins, then it will build the image, then it will run the container. All is running properly and showing the green line. So if you now see the Docker image ls, you can see my app is running and it's just once again, this is the tag number, and if you say Docker ps container is also running, my app 1 5000 port running. So if you refresh that page, because it's same 5000, it will show the page. Okay, so let me go to the Jenkins file. So let me basically open this file in different folder. So then just I need to add something in Jenkins files. I will use basically different way, or we can use the same here. Let me open it here. Jenkins file, we need to comment that one. Then we use here, I already have another file. Let me copy that file, that way it will be easier. So basically we are using one environment variable, and normally we are using docker build -t. I use some environment image name and image tag. We already show how to image environment in my last class. So let me copy that one. Then I will also add the image also. So there. Okay, so it will basically run docker build -t and give the image name with the image name and image tag. There is two variable I will declare in environment section. Let me declare that one. So in the agent section, I need to here. So here is also environment variable. There is image name and image tag. So make sure indentation is perfect. So we are putting the image name is our Docker Hub username. So DevOps Steps, and give it app name is 17b. So image name is DevOps Steps / my Docker -app -17b, and the tag is latest. So that way it will create the image basically docker build -t. The image name would be DevOps Steps / my Docker -app 17b, and the tag would be what we declared latest. So it will be make the image tag latest, and the docker file is there. So that's why I put dot. Now I need to create the running option. So for running the container, we don't use the Jenkins script. We make it comment, and same way basically we already did before we are using this, like so here I use 5000 port because this container is running 5000. Also just run the host port 5000. Okay, so basically this command what it will do, basically docker run -d test mode -p port allocation. So host port 5000, container port 5000, then we give a name of a container, then the image name. So image name is which we already declared, DevOps Steps / my app /17b, then image tag is this way. So these are basically can run. So let me save the file. Sorry, let me save the file. Git add git commit -am git push. So now let me run the pipeline again. Build now. Let me refresh this one. Maybe that can build now button not pressed properly. So to wait few seconds. We see some error, git log files, docker demo driver. So this name already running. Let me there is already container basically run that name, that's why it's getting the problem. Docker rm-af. Let me stop all thing. This one. This one. Docker ps-a. Only Jenkins and Kubernetes. Now let me run again. So this time it's run properly. So if you get in the log, you can see it first clone the code, then build the image. So it will take the name of the image and tag from the environment variable which we declared, DevOps Steps /myapp/docker -app 17b latest, and after building the image it will run the container. So now if I see docker ps, we can see the container is running in the 5000 port, and docker image ls, we can see DevOps step my 17b, which tag is latest, is running just a minute ago. So if you want to see the page, it will basically showing the same 5000 port, just refreshed. You can see the page is showing. So basically this way we can run a Dockerized application by Jenkins pipeline. Just I want to show this thing in this video. So all the steps I use and all command I use, everything you will find in the documentation. So this is the Jenkins file. So steps I also mentioned, like create a Jenkins pipeline job. When you create a pipeline, just you need to go new item, then pipeline, then you set your Git repo and point the Jenkins file. So you already make the Jenkins file the same name, Jenkins file, and you click the build now, then that will take the Jenkins file and build your image. And what Jenkins will do by this command, it will clone the repo and build the image and run the container. So after you've done the demo, you need to clean this application. I also add those command in docker ps-a. You can see the all running and stop container. Then you can stop the container, then remove the container and remove the image. If you want, you can also add this thing to clean up in your Jenkins pipeline. You can add another steps, give the name of the steps like clean the local PC, then add these steps, then it will delete all container and remove the image also. So basically that's all for today's video. So if you found this video is helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe the channel. So up to the next video, best of luck, bye.